and we're talking about one of the most important parts of your entire driveline, and that, of course, is a torque converter. We have a lot of neat parts on the table, and the two guys standing next to me are Danny and Kelsey. This guy right here, if there is a torque converter Hall of Fame, he'd be in it. Danny, you've been around these things for almost your whole life, and you've been involved in the high performance side of it before a lot of people were. Much of the stuff we see here, you've helped to develop, and I want to know what I'm looking at.
Okay, what you're looking at is, first of all, this is the front cover. It's a billet cover, and we designed this cover because it was needed in the industry. It'll take more power. It's for the popular 4L65 transmission, and it's just a fantastic piece made in America here.
Yeah, a lot of lesser quality converters use a stamped piece of steel, and that can deflect and balloon and move all over the place. That is not going anywhere.
No, this has integrity. It's made out of a billet, CNC machined, and it enhances the durability of the converter. It's a major piece.
And in terms of construction, talk to me about some of the most kind of visible elements here. It looks, furnace brazing, of course, is a big deal, right?
Furnace brazing, all of our converters, high performance converters, are furnace brazed, the pump and the turbine, and in higher horsepower applications they're brazed by hand on the critical areas.
Kelsey, we're also talking about stuff like hardened hubs. I mean, really front to back, you guys have gone above and beyond on the material side.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, everything that we've displayed here for you today is made in America. It's all billet, solid equipment here.
You know, Danny, gearheads like to talk install speed. So do you guys offer stuff from a more mild application to something more heavy duty?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have a broad range of stall speeds for this particular converter, 14 to 16, 16 to 18, 18 to 2000 and above. We can actually make the VJ converter, which is this application, up to 25, 26, maybe even more if you're making enough power.
So that's for a dude who's got a pretty hairy little engine in his car and wants to go out there and make some noise on a Saturday night.
Oh yeah, this will spool right up. I mean, it's a durable converter also.
You know, let's look at some of the components we have here, because I don't think a lot of our viewers and people in general understand how a torque converter works. I know we got a stator here, we got a pump. Talk to me about what we're looking at.
Well, the pump is the primary, turns with engine RPM and directs the fluid through the stator, and it drives the turbine. And it's a one-way clutch actually, and it's a 3-element converter, and combined with the converter clutch, it's a lockup. So it's 4 elements.
4 elements. Now, 4 elements, and we're going to talk about 3 clicks right now, Kelsey, because installing a torque converter is a fairly straightforward operation, but screwing it up is going to lead to a quick end to your trans. So walk me through the installation.
Absolutely. The worst thing you can do is stack that pump. The first thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and make sure that everything's properly lubricated. Add a quart of your burn rubber brewery transmission fluid to this torque converter. Make sure everything's primed with transmission fluid. Then you're going to install your hub into your transmission here. You'll hear your first click. That's your input shaft falling into place. Your second click will be your stator shaft falling into place. And then your third click, that's going to be your pump gear sliding into the grooves here for you.
So that's a nice kind of close-up installation. I'm going to give you a little fluid here so we can show that you'd add fluid to the front. This is, of course, the Burn Rubber Brewing Company Universal Synthetic Cider, which is the greatest named transmission fluid in the history of mankind.
Absolutely.
One of the things that people should know too, these converters are all electronically balanced when they're built, so you're getting a very quality piece that's gone through quality control checks and is coming to you ready to install. Part of the process is adding some fluid, which is Kelsey's handling right now, and then he's going to give you a look at what this should look like when it's properly seated.
This is actually added fluid on a balancer also. We put fluid in on every converter we balance.
As part of the balancing process.
That's part of our quality control. Every single converter goes through the balancer.
Load us up, Kelsey. So again, if we're kind of listening, there sounds like one little rotation. Converter's going to kind of step its way in there. People need to understand you can't even get your fingers in there.
Oh, absolutely. Once this converter is fully installed, you cannot get your fingers in here. That lets you know that it is truly installed correctly, as well as you want to take a look at the back spacing of your converter to your bell housing itself.
Yeah, if it's even, it's not all the way in. If it's recessed in there, you're in good shape. Fellas, where do we go on the internet to learn more about Thor Converters?
You can learn more about Thor Converters at thorconverters.com. And you can learn more about Burn Rubber Brewery at burnrubberbrewery.com.
And everybody needs to learn more about Burn Rubber Brewery. What the greatest name of all time. We'll be back with more Motorhead Garage presented by Dustless Plastic right after this. Danny and I are going drag racing.